and welcome to the Queendom. I'm Sarah Ingle, and today we are going to make Mal's Spellbook from Descendants. I'm a big fan of having props that look like they came out of movies, rather than necessarily having or collecting things that are inspired by the movies or have like a logo on it or someone's face on it. I really wanted to have a spell book, especially to go along with an intro for a Mal makeup tutorial that will be coming up here shortly. I couldn't find any that looked legit. I think the Disney store used to carry one, but they don't make them anymore. And that's when I really like to make DIYs, when it's something that I can't find and I just want to make it. To make Mal's spellbook, you're going to want to start with a brown notebook. If you can find the leather notebook or one that is brown at least or looks like leather, that would be great. I will link in the description below to where you can get a notebook like this, as well as the other supplies that you'll need to make your own DIY spellbook. We're gonna need some paints. I've got some blue one, but I'm mostly using some green paints. I might mix a little bit of this turquoise in to kind of give it a closer shade to what she has in the movie. I'm gonna try and get some of the blue that's around the little dragon emblem with a marker. We'll see how that goes, because I realized I don't have blue paint. You're also gonna need some metallic gold paint. This one is essential even if you wanna do the original Descendants version and not the Descendants 2 version. But all of this right here is if you just wanna do the Descendants 2 version. You'll also require something that's circle. I'm just gonna use this mug, because you'll notice there's a circle around it. Just go around here for that. You can use anything that is a circle for this, but like I said, I'm gonna use this guy. Some sponge options for painting, some paint brushes for painting, some hot glue and a hot glue gun, some rhinestones, which will be a lot of fun. And the main thing that we're really gonna need is Shrinky Dink paper. This actually is not Shrinky Dink brand. It's just shrink paper that I ordered on Amazon. It was pretty cheap. And again, I will link this in the description. So I'm gonna move some of this stuff out of the way and we'll get started with the Shrinky Dinks first. I also should mention that I'm going to use an iPad for tracing onto my Shrinky Dink. When you're using Shrinky Dink or any sort of shrink paper, you should assume that it will be about half of the size after you shrink it. So when I trace that, I'm actually going to make this bigger than the screen in order to get them measured about right. And then move them over and then move over my Shrinky Dink and keep tracing over the other side of it. And you'll also need scissors or a craft knife to cut out your Shrinky Dinks. When you trace on a Shrinky Dink, you want to make sure the scratchy side is up, because if you're trying to write on the smooth side, it won't write. So you basically just need to trace all around the outline here. Remember, once you're done tracing all the part that's visible at first, you're gonna just slide the part over on the iPad and slide over your Shrinky Dink so it still matches up. There we go, we can see it's all matching. And continue the rest of the tracing. Now make sure you take your scissors and cut out your dragon Shrinky Dink. Here is my dragon, all ready to be shrinkified in the oven. Check the instructions that come with your Shrinky Dink. Mine said to heat it at 300 degrees Fahrenheit for about 2 minutes. You can also watch it in the oven and see when it's pretty much done shrinking. It happens pretty quickly. In addition to the dragon, Mal's spellbook also has little gold things on all 4 of the corners that also have little rhinestones in them. I originally thought I was gonna do this with Shrinky Dinks. The more I was looking at it, I thought, you know what? I am still gonna do it with Shrinky Dinks, but I'm gonna do them with unshrunken Shrinky Dinks because they're very thin and very flat. So I'm just gonna trace out those corners and not put those ones into the oven. I'll put a link in the description to the files that I traced so that you guys can trace the exact same ones. So I'm gonna go ahead and trace out my corners onto my Shrinky Dink that is not going to be shrunk. It's just gonna be a piece of kind of hardish plastic stuff. All right, so here we have our shrunken dragon. Very, very exciting here. He's just the right size for our little notebook. So we're gonna glue him down. I'm gonna place all these out just to make sure that it's looking like I want it. Oh yeah, this is gonna look fancy. If you want to do the original Descendants version, you won't want the circle around it, but because I'm doing the Descendants 2 version, I'm gonna make sure that this fits nicely around him, and yes it does. I'm just gonna trace around. I'm gonna trace it out to make sure it stays in the same place, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do that splotchy paint around it before I paint these guys. So I'm gonna mix up my splotchy green paint. I'm gonna use a little sponge. Kind of sponge it on around because it looks very, oh, that is a little thicker than I wanted. So I'm gonna, there we go. We want it really, really splotchy. Because she always has like kind of like a graffiti spray paint look and it's much more grungy. So you want to tap it around. This edge is really thin on this side, so. All right, I think I'm happy enough with that. I'm gonna see if this blue marker works. We'll see if it shows up. Maybe I should wait for the paint to dry a little bit, but I'm just gonna kind of see what happens. That is not showing up. Okay, so I forgot. I do have blue paint. This is wonderful. I have the rock painting kit paint. I'm gonna use that for the blue around the edge. That works great. All right, so I just need a blue outline now. And I'm gonna need to rinse this off of here right away because this is a more permanent paint. All right, I'm gonna take this off here and I'm gonna go rinse this off really quick because this paint will probably stain. Now I'm gonna take this marker right here and see if I can get a little more of that bluish, deeper bluish, almost purpley hues into this blue that I've painted on. I might need to wait for it to dry, but I'm gonna get a little excited and try some a little early. Good enough. It's blue. We've got a couple different shades of thick. Hand wipes from the great beyond. We got this guy to dry a little bit, and now we're gonna cover all of this stuff with metallic gold acrylic paint. It's as exciting as watching paint dry. If you'd like, instead of using a hot glue gun, you can use my personal favorite, E6000, but remember, this can burn your skin, and you want to use it in a ventilated area so you don't kill yourself. We're gonna put the corners on first. All right, E6000, it's time for you to do your sticky stuff. All right, now time to attach the dragon. All right, now I'm just gonna add some of these little gems into the circles I left for them. And there we have it, our very own DIY spellbook, just like Mal uses in Descendants 2. So of the Descendants movies that are out so far, which one is your favorite? The original Descendants or Descendants 2? And how excited are you for Descendants 3? Hope you enjoyed this. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, including a Mal makeup tutorial that's coming up. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Sometimes I just open my mouth and start talking before I think about what I'm gonna say. Was there shaking? Could you see it? You guys, there's an earthquake happening. We should have had it on earlier because there was a 7.1. The epicenter wasn't here, but it was so shaky. All the things behind me, like that little ball over there, it was like that, and all the lights were around. My shower door was like, and it's been an exciting day.